Okay.
Hey, welcome back, everyone.
Hi.
So, welcome, Shifu. After introducing the Baxian last week, we're going to focus on one of the Immortals each week. And this week, we're talking about Tieguai Li. Is that right, Shifu?
Yes, Tieguai Li.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So take one of the 80 model Tieguai Li. So this is a children book. So that's his picture. Tieguai Li is a crippled leg. So actually, before he became immortal, he was a regular person, very handsome, and he was study hard to want to become a officer. Okay, I just follow the book.
Yeah.
Follow the book.
Yeah, you read us a story, Shifu.
Yeah. So Tieguai Li, long time ago, his name was Li Xuan. That was his name. Li Xuan. He was handsome. He was study hard, and he went after study a few years. He went to the big test. If he passed the test, he will be a success. Become an officer. That means success. But many times he failed. Many times. Then he get discouraged. So he don't not go to test anymore. Then he want study Taoist and want to visit Taoist Immortals. He want to study, become immortal, to learn Taoist. So he traveled on the mountains a few months. Finally, he found a good place. There's a cave, a good, beautiful cave. He stayed there, just studied by himself. A few years later, he still felt his Taoist practice was too shallow, still a little bit. Then he decided to Taisang Laojun. He wanted to see Taisang Laojun. Taisang Laojun was the Taoist founder of the Taoist, the one who wrote the Dao De Jun. So it's Laozi. Laozi's Taisang Laojun is his title in heaven. So Li Xuan wanted to found the Taisang Laojun. He went to Huashan Mountain. It's in Shaanxi province. There has many immortals come from that mountain. It's very steep, very high, that mountain. So he went to Hua Mountain to looking for Taisang Laojun, to looking for his teacher. After he went through many difficulty, finally get to Huashan, and on the lotus flower peak, that's the highest peak in the center. So he finally he get there, he want to take a break. Then he saw two children. So that's Laozi's disciple. So the children ask, "Are you Li Xuan? My Taisang Laojun sent me to welcome you, to green tea. Oh, Li Xuan was so surprised and so happy. Oh, looks like I have destiny with Taisang Laojun, and why? So that's why they send the two children to welcome me. So he was so happy. Like Li Xuan followed the two kids to the temple to saw the Taisang Laojun sit on a lotus flower and another immortals. There's a Taisang Laojun. So then Taisang Laojun was green tea to the Taisang Laojun. This is Li Xuan to Taisang Laojun. So Taisang Laojun tell him to practice Taoist, study Taoist. There's no teacher, and there's no gift, destiny. You have to depend on yourself. You have to study by yourself, go through everything by yourself. You just need to focus on the practice. And one day, you will be success. That's Tai Seng Lao Jun tell him. So, after Li Xuan heard that, then he go back. He went back to his cave to practice, follow the books, and he practiced the meditation. A lot of time he sit for whole day, sit meditation for whole day, and sometimes he went to the high place to hang around, to breathe, do a 吐故纳新 practice, the breath practice. After a long time, finally he reached a level, and 形神分离. 形 means the form, 神 means the spirit or the soul, can be separate. So his form and his soul can be separate. 出神入化, so his soul, his spirit can go anywhere he wants. So he reached that level. Then one day, Li Xuan, after practice, he was hanging around and enjoying the view. Suddenly he listened to beautiful music from the sky, and he looked up, and that's Tai Seng Lao Jun, and then his friend was in the sky, and the crane flying. Oh, so that's his master again. Then Li Xuan was okay. So was green tea to them. Then Tai Seng Lao Jun tell him, your Taoist practice has big improvement, has big progress. Me and Wan Qiu, we will go to travel many places. We want to bring you with us together, if you want. 10 days, in 10 days, your soul or your spirit can come with us. Don't break the promise, tell him. So 10 days later, Li Xuan tell his favorite disciple, Yang Zi. Li Xuan tell his disciple Yang Zi says, I will go into my spirit or my soul will leave my body, follow Tai Seng Lao Jun to spiritual travel, to the spiritual travel. But my body will live here, will stay here. If after 10 days, if my soul didn't come back, you can burn my body. You put on the fire to burn it. But if didn't reach 7 days, if only in 6 days, you don't destroy my body. Remember it. After he finished saying this, then his soul and spirit went out his body. Is telling his disciple. So his soul went out. Yang Zi was the disciple. Look after his master's body day after night. Finally reached 6 days. And Yang Zi's family came to tell Yang Zi, your mother is sick and is dying. Your mother wants to see to meet you for the last chance. You have to go home. At first, Yang Zi don't want to go home. He need to stay with his master. Then the family tell him, you have to go. Your mother is dying. So finally, also the Yang Zi thought his master is the body didn't move for 6 days, thought might be dead already. So he put his master's body on the fire, put on the wood fire to burn his body. So after 7 days, Li Xuan finished the travel. His soul came back, then found that his body is gone and his disciple is gone. And his disciple was break the promise. So his soul have to go everywhere. Nobody to come back. Then, so this is only 7 days limited. So on the 7th day's middle night, he have to find a body to come back alive. He was choose many body. No one. He don't like those body. Finally, he's no time. Time run out. He found a body. Is dying body. Is a beggar and with crippled leg. He have no choice. He wanted this body and come back alive. So that's why he come back alive with a crippled leg, and was a beggar's body. With Tieguai, the can's metal. Tie is metal, Guai is the can. So that's Tieguai is the metal can Li. That's his name. So he changed the name to Tieguai Li. Everybody call him Tieguai Li. Then he went to see his disciple Yang Zi. Yang Zi was going to kill himself. He says, "Well, this is my destiny. They are supposed to come back alive with this body. And I'm immortal now. And I have a medicine to give to your mother. Your mother will no more sick." So his mother come back alive, and then the Yang Zi follow Tieguai Li to practice Taoist. After 200 years, Yang Zi become immortal too. So that's how Tieguai Li become an immortal. It's a children's book. This says Tieguai Li Chen Xian. Tieguai Li become immortal. That's the story.
Shifu, I love that story. I didn't know that Tieguai meant the metal cane that he used. So now Tieguai Li. Okay.
Yeah.
And so as I understand the story, that when he was Li Shan, before he lost in his original body, everything was kind of easy for him. He was very good looking, good body, he had a good mind. And only by having the body of a cripple could he really develop, by having an imperfect body. Is that right? He because it was too easy for him before, but now with the body of a cripple, he could develop more.
I think this maybe saying the form is not that important. Any form can practice Taoist.
And that's a really important message, isn't it? Because say for martial arts, many people maybe want to study martial arts and they have different bodies. Some people are not very flexible, their bodies are different sizes. And if they see, masters, they think, I can never do that. My body would never do that.
Right.
So does the story of Tieguai Li say that anyone can practice, anyone can learn?
Yeah. Anyone can learn. Yeah. Correct.
And it may be harder, or you maybe need to practice more, but anyone can practice and cultivate that.
Yes, correct. Also, anyone can become practice. Correct, yes.
Yeah, it's an interesting, important, I think. Because I think many people would like to practice, but at the beginning, they tell themselves they can't. They discount themselves. Like, I can't do that. Yeah,
anyone can practice. Correct.
Yeah.
So the 8 immortals also, they represent 8 kind of people. So represent all people. The 8 immortal. They all come from the real person.
Yeah. So Tieguai Li represents what kind of person would you say?
A younger man who always study, want to do to become a officer. Yeah, in the old time, if we become an officer, that's a big success.
Yeah. And also, the other interesting bit of story is that he separated his soul from his body and traveled with his masters. So, in sometimes this is called astral projection in the West. Is this something that is a goal for many Taoists now, to be able to do that, to separate their soul from their body?
Yeah, for some, anyone can do that just for some moment. Like if you do meditation, you connect with the Tao. Your mind is not focused on the body. Your mind can freely with the Tao.
If it's okay to ask you, have you had any strange experiences while you've meditated? Any very powerful experiences?
So like some moments you feel like energized, you feel like you don't feel your body. Don't feel your body and feel like you can have strength. You have a lot of strength.
Wow.
Like have the deepest power to do the kung fu.
Yeah. So the power is from the Tao. So you've kind of connected with the Tao, and you feel that power go through you.
Yeah, connect with Tao. Like you wake up inside. Wake up, like
Wow.
yeah, like if since blocked is went through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And with meditation and practice meditation, you think many people can experience this?
Yeah, I think anyone can do that. I think my meditation is still beginner level.
And with Tieguai Li, in the forms, so in Baxian Jian and Baxian Gun, we see him in the forms when you are kind of limping. Yeah, you put all the weight on the staff, or with the swords, you're kind of hobbling along on one leg.
Yeah, Tieguai Li, he's on one leg, all weight on one leg. Then on the cane is sometimes a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to show. There's pictures on my. Let me see. Oh, can you let me show the pictures and?
Yeah. Maybe 1 minute.
Share screen, yeah. So I can share screen, yes. So from here, so you can see the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Tieguai Li. That's a sculpture. So that's a beggar's body. That's a Tieguai Li with a bottle. He's always carry a bottle.
What's in the bottle?
He bottle for water for one. Yeah, that's his talisman. So that's Tieguai Li. So there's some root. That's a Tieguai Li's form with a can. So that's just some artist. Then that's the eighth immortal. Here is the Tieguai Li.
Yeah.
On a bottle. Yeah. So this form, let's see. It's an made immortal sword. Yeah, that's
Nice,
show.
Shifu.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't wait to start learning the form as well.
Yeah, the form has the immortals moves. Copy the immortals moves.
Yeah. So have you often thought about Tieguai Li during your practice?
Sorry?
Have you thought about Tieguai Li when you practice? Have you thought about him during your journey?
Oh, think about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we think about his stories, his when we practice.
Yeah. So if any students tell themselves they can't practice Tai Chi or Qigong or Kung Fu, they don't have the right body, they need to read this story and
Yeah.
hear about Tieguai Li's story. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay, Shifu, thank you so much for this story and look forward to next week to hear about another Baxian.
Good.
谢谢，再见。
再见。